It's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your freedom is?
You are now entering the processing area. The next scheduled departure to LA is in 1 hour. You now have the option to repent of your sins and be electrocuted on the premises. If you elect this option, notify the cleric sergeant in your processing area.
How you doing, man? Long time.
Yeah, not bad. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Here in my own quarantine zone.
How mad is this?
It's fucking weird, man. I've never seen anything like this. And should I forget how old you are? How old were you on 9/11?
I was 12. 11 or 12.
Okay, I remember I was a bit older than that, and I remember people just went out and bought gasoline. That was what everybody was doing. Everybody was buying gasoline because they figured. There's always war in the Middle East, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This is fucking weird. Aside from like the way people are reacting to things, the way nature is reacting to people.
Yeah.
I guess is the way to say it.
Like in Scotland, in the UK, everyone has just went into total panic mode and buying all the pasta and tuna that they can.
Okay.
It's insane. It's like at the end of the world. What do you want most? Oh, a nice plate of pasta and tuna, and they're just buying that and toilet paper. And it's insane. These are not the people that I want on my side when the apocalypse happens and we're fighting down zombies. I don't want these tuna smelling pasta freaks. It's insane.
We're all good in the battle until it rains and our pasta forged weapons are all for shit.
Yeah, that's possible as well. It would just end up a big shitty starchy mess. This isn't the apocalypse that I was led to believe in while watching Waterworld. This isn't how it's meant to go down.
Yeah, we haven't grown gills. It's
cinema has lied to us. It's absolutely lied to us.
Maybe we are. On like the last episode, I did Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. And I can't remember if I said it then, but I've been thinking about this lately, is kind of like we are... It feels like we're a little bit before where the first Mad Max was. Because in the first Mad Max, society was still pretending like it existed. There was a police force, but they were like a gang that didn't have as many people as some of the other gangs had. And then, more shit went down between 1 and 2, but it kind of feels like we're pre-apocalypse.
Yeah. And how scary is that?
It's freaky, man. Yeah, I mean, I hope our scientists will save us once again. But it's interesting to see how people are reacting.
Yeah.
You
See,
know,
I saw a meme, and it was like, if this is how we react to coronavirus, no wonder the government don't tell us about aliens.
yeah.
And I was like, that is so accurate. Like, what would you? Can you imagine the pasta, the shortage we would have if people knew that aliens actually existed?
All that would be left would be vegan cheese. And have you seen some of those photographs people have been taking of we're this kind of scared, but we're not that scared yet? Like the grocery shelf somewhere in the South, I think it was Alabama. All of the sweetened tea, you know how they drink cold tea in the
Yeah,
South, or maybe yeah. Well, yeah, you've been there recently. All the
yeah.
sweetened tea, all the sweetened cold tea is gone, but all the unsweetened cold tea is just sitting there. Just the shit people buy in a panic.
It's crazy, man. It is so. It, it's a really scathing indictment in humanity that this is what people turn to in a state of panic, rather than the bare essentials. They have to go for just the shit that they really don't actually need.
Capitalism.
It is.
There's that guy that spent $70,000 or some shit on hand sanitizer, and then he found out that he couldn't sell it on Amazon, and he was all pissed off that they ruined his family's life because he spent all their money on hand sanitizer. Or, you know, there's going to be caravans of people going down the road throwing spears at each other's cars to take their fucking toilet paper.
Like, how good a film would that be? Just following the week leading up to him buying all the hand sanitizer, and the week afterwards, just a in-depth character study of this maniac. It'd be
I,
so good.
I think there's a New York Times article about him,
Oh,
interview thing with him. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
sweet man, sweet.
He took his picture with all his fucking hand sanitizer, and yeah, it's just fucking weird. I don't know about your neighborhood yet, or or if you live in a house or an apartment, or what do you call it, a flat? If you live in a flat, or but
I just want to see how many dwellings you can name.
your
Canal
gaff,
boat.
is it your gaff?
Yeah, that's just what Scott calls it. I've never called it a gaff. He's way too old to be using the term gaff. That's for like Scottish children.
I heard it on Sid and Nancy. If you've ever watched
Oh,
that
really?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the guys says it to Nancy. She's like, "A what?" He's like, my apartment." Um,
Yeah.
we should cover that movie sometime, maybe. But
Oh, definitely.
oh shit! I took us on our first tangent, and I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, yeah, but in my neighborhood, bars and stuff are putting out tables of here, everybody please be cool with each other and keep distances and whatnot. But here's all this extra food we can't do anything with. If you need it, come and get it. If you got some extra stuff for people from the neighborhood, go ahead. It started getting weird the week leading up to Friday the 13th. In general, I was a little nervous by how much Donald Trump was talking about how not a big deal this was. But, people started buying all the toilet paper leading up to around the 13th. And then on the 15th, our governor actually had an announcement. Hey, everybody, you don't have to go somewhere, stay at home.
Yeah.
Everything is closed except for restaurants if they're delivering or carry out. No dining in. Barber shops are closed before, like specifically barber shops. But I guess that's just a lot of people hanging around in a room. But
Yeah.
it's been really patchy because each state has a governor. And right now, the White House is kind of saying, okay, guys, go take care of it. So each state's doing their own thing. I heard you got a text message, a national text message earlier today saying lockdown.
Yeah, well, the news reported that text message was going around, but unless the government have fallen out with me or just don't want to text me, I didn't get it. So they obviously don't think I'm important enough to warn of the pandemic. They've just decided to patch me off and not text me.
Oh, well, that's not very nice, government.
Yeah, that's shit, man. But yeah, I did hear that a lot of people received it, and it was just like only essential workplaces can remain open, only leave the house for once a day for exercise, to get essential shopping quite infrequently, and unless you have to go to work for obviously an essential job. But that then led to everyone in Scotland and the UK assuming that what they did was really essential. And like if you try hard enough, you can twist anything into being essential. So everyone was still going to work today, and it's madness. They just need to, for once, they actually need to just listen to the government, listen to what they're saying, and just stay at home. But people in Glasgow especially, they announced the lockdown, and people were like going to the pub. They were in having house parties where all their friends were coming round. They were in picnics in the park, and it's like, are you all mental? Like, what is going on?
Did you see the pictures and shit from Florida? When everybody was talking about the governor in Florida was refusing to close the beaches. There's so many comparisons to the mayor from Jaws.
But this is how Jaws happened. Learn a lesson.
It was, you got to close the beaches. And he's like, we need those spring break dollars. And they were showing, a lot of the TV networks around here were showing side-by-side video footage of Paris, where you can't see anybody anywhere, and then Florida Beach, where there's just a fuckload of shirtless people. I don't know. The numbers are going to shoot up even more in the next couple weeks here in the States. I know that's going to happen. It's been getting more and more as well. I think my state has 11 deaths right now.
Right. Oh, man. I think Scotland are up to 16, I think.
Holy shit.
Just now. So we're still a few weeks behind, like the rest of the world. Like Italy right now is obviously decimated. It's rife. The videos that are coming from there are horrible. And it's that way that you kind of wish the government had maybe stepped in a little bit quicker, just to actually say, right, everything stop, to try and contain this straight away. I think they've kind of dragged their heels a little bit. But
if they're anything like it seems to keep coming out about a lot of our politicians, they're busy selling stock.
Yeah, which is crazy, man.
Speaking of shitty governments, the government and Escape from L.A. You are Liam and I am Daeron, and we might even be recording already.
I hope so. We already talked for 5.5 hours.
Let's go back, all the way back to 1996, when Escape from L.A. came out and nobody watched it.
And CGI was at the peak of its skill and prowess, according to this film.
This Escape from L.A. 13 years after Escape from New York, at least chronologically within the movie universe of this. Snake Plissken. I don't know how much we want to cover the movie and how much we just want to bullshit about our the year 2020. The island of Great Britain has become separated from the European Union.
I know. What is that all about? Like that was a sign. That was a sign that the end of days were coming. And we let it happen. And shocking. The world's over, Daeron. It's over. There's no coming back from this.
Call me Snake.
Oh, of course. That was so sexy. That was so sexy.
The living spirit of Kurt Russell entered me just for a moment. I think John Wayne is a piece of shit, but Kurt Russell is my John Wayne.
I would let physical Kurt Russell enter me if he wanted. I love Kurt Russell. That's an offer and an invite. If Kurt Russell is ever in Glasgow and wants to hang out of me, he can.
Oh, that reminds me. Did Natalie Portman ever take you up on your offer from last time we talked? No,
she didn't.
She's been busy.
Yeah, so it means she's either sitting there with my jumper on and not sending me pictures, or she was entirely creeped out and she burned that jumper in all memory of me. Or she has no idea about any of this, and the guy I gave it to didn't give it to her. Who knows? I wouldn't email her about it because this could probably come across as really creepy and sexually aggressive. Two things which I am not.
So I threw a bunch of movie titles at you. What made this one sort of stand out? Was it that you just wanted to have some good, stupid fun?
Yeah. Anyway, John Carpenter is my guy. He's my favourite director. Everything he puts out, even The Ward, I thought were excellent. Just his style is just so up my street, and the chance to talk about any John Carpenter film, I would jump at, especially one with Kurt Russell, especially one with Bruce Campbell in the best cameo of his entire life.
The Surgeon General of Beverly Hills.
Still creepy. His face it's just not right. It's still creepy, and it shouldn't be, because it's funny. It's so over the top. It's the same reason my love for Waterworld is so strong, because everything that happens feels like a Universal stunt show, and I always wanted to be a Universal stuntman. So I get into it and I love it. And Escape from LA is just one of those magical films.
We're gonna just jump around however the fuck we feel like it.
That's good to me.
Before we get taken off to the camps where they hose us and use the wire brushes and all that other shit. If the quarantine gets extra long, we can do Waterworld.
Can't wait.
But yeah, fucking John Carpenter. Yeah. He's probably he's one of my favorite directors, but he's probably one of the directors that I would like to hang around. But yeah, Bruce Campbell, going back to the stunts. I mean, we have Kurt Russell hang gliding. I don't even know how far he glided, whatever. Hang gloding. But hang gliding from Pam Grier's house for however far that was, and then just during the attack, I don't know if you counted, he hang glowed around for 1 minute 20 seconds, just shooting everybody with a fucking machine gun. And just in that one part, just and it was fucking glorious. And that's after surfing a tsunami with Peter Fonda or something like that, and jumping into a convertible driven by Steve Buscemi.
Oh, how can you not love this film? Like, just that paragraph alone sells this film more than any other film in history. It's so good.
There's Death Games basketball at the Hollywood Bowl. There's all the Hollywood things. I guess we can go back where even if we're sticking pretty close to the chronology. I mean, the plastic Surgeon General of Beverly Hills is what? It's like the Omega Men people. They've got 1980s plastic surgery that needs fixed, and he feels up the girl from Big Top Pee-wee and Hot Shots. He's like, my God, they're real.
It's so good. It's so good. It's very David Cronenberg. and it's like these kind of although their plastic kind of surgery fails, they look a bit body horror, like there's something really not quite right, and the fact that it works is also a bit of a chill when you're watching the movie because you're like, oh, look at these guys. But this movie works on so many levels.
The commentary about the religious authoritarianism rising in America that John Carpenter obviously has always had a problem with. But there's the president for life who what the girl that Snake was with for a minute. I was a Muslim in South Dakota. All of a sudden it was a crime.
It's like he's seen the future. It's like he's seen it, and he knows this is going to happen to America, and it does. Tsunami waves are only around the corner. They're coming.
We don't need Cuervo Jones though, because he's a shitty revolutionary.
Yeah. Good shot with a bazooka though.
True that. Luckily, the United States Police Force helicopters are armored flying tanks, much like the police forces around here in the States. They get all this army surplus stuff.
Yeah.
So there will be small towns with tanks and shit, just because if they don't take it, they have to not spend the money.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would be terrified if my police force owned a tank. Terrified. Like, our country freaks out if the police get like a fast car, because it's like, oh no, now we can't outrun the police because they're driving this fast car. If someone said, oh, the Strathclyde police have got a tank, I'd be like, get me on the first plane out of here, because no chance can I be governed by a law that has a tank.
So when Scott moves to Texas and starts his survivalist bunker, his survivalist dude ranch, maybe.
The only survivalist bunker that is currently empty of all food rations and surplus equipment. I always tell him he'll be the first to die in the apocalypse. He doesn't believe me, but look at his bare empty cupboards. He doesn't even have any tinned chickpeas. He's doomed.
Maybe he bought all the pasta. He's an essential worker, so he gets a little bit every day.
Yeah, he is on the front line. To be genuine for Scott, yes, he's there.
For the NHS, right?
Yeah, and a kind of mental health capacity, and like his shifts right now are going absolutely crazy. He's been messaging me about them, and hats off to him and everyone else that are frontline essential, and not just like what the UK deem themselves as essential. So the actual people who are in the NHS and are really doing something to help, like hats off to them.
They're gonna get sick first.
Yeah, and that's like a commendable thing, because it would not be me. And it's not that I'm a selfish person, but I'm not jumping on the front line. So you don't in the UK, they don't pay nurses and doctors. Sorry, they pay doctors enough. They don't pay nurses and the actual support staff anywhere near enough for what they do, especially right now when the country is going absolutely batshit.
It's interesting to see what the politicians are doing, what they're who they consider the person that needs help first.
Yeah.
Bunch of fighting going on here, of course, predictably.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a tug of war. It's fucking weird. It's fucking wild. I don't think, I mean, shit's fucking changing. While we're talking, half the shit we'll say will be out of date. I think, as of this afternoon, the U.S. had 50,000 cases.
And it's just going to keep ramping up.
Yeah, I think, it's going to get really high. I think there's going to be people that think that, well, some of these people, it's getting higher even though everybody's just hanging around in their house. And what's the thing? It's like, well, the gestation date can be up to 2 weeks. So that we haven't even been in seclusion for 2 weeks yet. Plus there's all the fucking people that are like, I'm going to fucking have a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what do they call the designer drug in Escape from LA? Plutoxin 7. It's just another lie from the government, man. And then, the government totally fucking lies, but every scientist wouldn't be fucking lying to me. I trust large groups of scientists way more than I trust of fucking politicians.
I trust that if McDonald's are closing all stores in the UK, like before a lot of other shops and industries closed, McDonald's were closing all stores. That's when you know it's went too far, because if McDonald's aren't going to try and make a pound, then shit has actually hit the fan. We should be loving this. Like, my whole life I have trained to save the world by lying on my couch watching movies. That's what my whole life has been for, and now that it's happening, but the reality of why it's happening is so terrifying that I can't relax and I can't enjoy this absolute dream situation.
Because in all likelihood, I don't want to vibrate the fuck out of my microphone that's clamped to my wooden table, but we're more likely to just be somebody that spreads it to somebody that gets really sick. And I have no problem being in my hobbit hole, but it is weird. There's a lot of second guessing. I was supposed to be on vacation right now down in Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Florida has it a lot worse than it does here, but we booked the vacation months and months and months ago, I think before Christmas. And then we're just getting close. Started casually saying, "Do you think we should go, or should we cancel?" And I think it was two days, or the day before we were supposed to leave. We were just like, "This is too fucking." Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna lose some money, but let's stay home. Let's not make a dumb decision for money.
Yeah.
We're largely more fortunate than some people. I mean, around here, a lot of people are getting all these letters from their landlords. Yeah, the world is ending, but rent's due on the 1st. All this fucked up shit. Seeing how people respond.
Yeah. The landlord issue hasn't been quite as bad here just now. Anything I'm seeing on social media and stuff seems to be like a lot of landlords are letting it go past this month before they try and take any rent, and then obviously play it by ear and on a person-to-person basis. Like, if people are going to take the grants or anything that the government are giving and are still working, then obviously they can still pay their rent. But most landlords in the UK seem so far to be quite helpful with it, which is good.
It's sorry. I think we're both a little nervous, and that's okay.
Yeah. It's to be honest, I laughed about it like a good few weeks ago, thinking it's going to be the same as foot and mouth or the bird flu or SARS, where you hear about it, it's scary, it's the next big thing that's going to really affect us, and then it kind of fizzles out and it falls away from media, and you don't follow it and you don't see it and you don't hear anything about it, and then this thing got worse and worse, and you're like, actually, no, this is something, and you can't help but feel genuine fear and kind of tension as to, it sounds like an exaggeration, but will life be the same after this is all done? Because we're going to lose so many people, we're going to lose so many small businesses, and it's seriously going to impact us. And it's like we're currently living in a future history lesson, and that shit's scary.
largely a lot of people aren't the best equipped. The people in place to make those decisions, a lot of them are 2016 mistakes are still running the show.
Yeah.
Largely. Or, I forget when Johnson got the majority over there, but I sort of equivocate, if that's a word, I don't know. Brexit and Trump happened in the same year.
Yeah.
Those are the tipping points where it's like, if our countries get out of this in one piece, what will they look like? And then here's, I mean, remember last year? Remember all these terrible times? All those hurricanes and shit that were just rocking Puerto Rico. And the governor of my state is a Republican. So he's doing a lot of, we're at war with a silent enemy. It's sort of creepy shit. He is like, hey, everybody stay fucking home. But he's very much a Republican. And, they're all dancing around to not contradict the message coming out of the White House, which is, I want everything to be back to normal in about 2 weeks before Easter.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we totally agree on everything except for that's not what you are supposed to be doing. He's like the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. It's why we need films like Escape from LA. We need something that's just fun, over the top, to alleviate our real life worries and stresses and thinking about our family and our friends, and it's really daunting right now. And the only thing it can help is Kurt Russell and Pam Grier hand gloding into Hollywood.
The Globetrotters.
Yeah, that's excellent. I'm going to see if the world doesn't end in like 4 weeks. I'm going to buy up old hand gliders and I'm going to start a hand gliding company, and it will be called Hand Gloders. The Globe. No, sorry. What did you say? The Globetrotters. Yeah, that's a way better name than what I just said.
Yeah, you'd get sued if you just call them the Globetrotters.
Yeah. But do you know what? Maybe the Globetrotters might not be there by the end of this. True. When we all start going cannibal and stuff. So maybe I could be the new Globetrotters.
You could have a really creepy jingle that's like theirs, like. Or...
Sounds like a Sergio Leone film.
I mean, we are. Maybe this will be how it starts. If we are to become Escape from LA. At least here, the president for life predicts a natural disaster, and which they all do. All the crazy religious people say that there's a natural disaster. There's this like, whoa, hurricanes are God's punishment for gay people, except for a hurricane also destroyed my house. And I'll be one of the few anti-gay politicians that actually isn't gay. I'm just a hateful asshole. But 27 moral crimes. Smoking is forbidden, because that's probably bad in the quarantine, when we start building globes over the cities full of oxygen so people can go outside and go to work and get the stock market going again to appease the line. You can't smoke, and you can't have sex unless you're married, because they need all of the... They need all of the chemicals and prophylactic materials for gas masks. And, all those YouTube tutorials about how to turn panties into gas masks, that'll crash the market again when people buy all of the underwear or pants, right?
Yeah.
I really dig a lot of Scottish slang, but it sounds so stupid coming out of my Midwestern accent.
Say it again.
Oh, I said I really dig a lot of Scottish slang, but it sounds really dumb coming through my Midwestern accent.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the bog roll and... put on the pants. But I'm sorry, I spoke over you.
No, man, I don't think I spoke there. My brain's gone. I zonked out for a second. I think I was thinking about being scared with what's happening in the world, and I think I actually zoned out and thought about what is actually going to happen in a few weeks.
Well,
Terrified myself.
Watch us. I feel like you said you're a little bit behind America, and America is about a week or two behind Italy, I think, in results. So there will be canaries in the coal mine, although you do have nationalized healthcare, and that's one of the things that the more left-leaning politicians are trying to make part of the government bailouts of stuff, is that it's for workers, not the corporations, and for healthcare, and they're quibbling over what's the best way to save people by either letting people die or letting people get healthy. But most places, I think Ohio, when I checked 2 days ago, Ohio was the 16th most infected areas.
Oh, really?
So, most of the cases so far here have been up near Cleveland, but my area is the second most in the state. It's the state capital. So there's all the politicians. I think one of our state representatives died, but I don't think it's related.
Right. Okay.
He just died while there's been daily press conferences by the governor and the head of the state health department. She comes out in her, doctor coat and answers questions. There's always like one sort of right wing, or I don't want to say right wing, but like a stick in the mud kind of reporter. Like yesterday they were, why can't you close all the abortion clinics? And today was, how can you allow them to continue to sell alcohol? That's not really an essential thing. Like that guy.
Like they should be taken out the back and just given the virus. Just let them go first.
We're gonna drag you through. We're gonna drag you through here, fucking guy. I keep missing who he says he's from. What thing he's from? But it's like, shut up. Excuse me, aren't we supposed to have extra homework this weekend?
Yeah, fuck that guy, man.
I mean, they're... Go ahead.
Especially in this lawless future where we're heading, like, get those guys and get them in the bin. Because the only thing that will get us through this is, like, having the little bits of light relief. So, getting alcohol, so then not every day in the house isn't the same thing driving you crazy and leading you into a dark depression. You need this shit to get through. So take all the stick in the muds and take them out, and those guys should be the front line. Get them infected first.
Like, well, since you don't need to have any fun,
why
don't you go have less fun? I think, and I haven't really been. The missus isn't drinking right now, so I kind of feel like an asshole. Just be like, well, I'm drinking all day. I'm not doing anything. So. I do other things to kill the fear, but one of the groceries in my I could probably walk to 3 different grocery stores in 10-15 minutes.
Cool.
Where I live, and one of them has a state licensed full liquor store inside it. Mm-hmm. So they'll probably stay open as long as they're keeping grocery stores open. But yeah, it's weird when people are, we've been going on our quarantine walks, and I mean, my little dude's 5. He's bored out of his fucking mind. He's playing so many video games. It's probably going to be bad, but it's, I just check in with him. We built a birdhouse and we did some painting. We've been playing a lot of hockey in the driveway.
Yeah.
But I don't let him cheat. And that ends things quickly sometimes. That he's been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront.
But do you know what? That's better than him kind of really understanding what's actually happening outside that door. Like, man, that's going to be worse for him than playing Star Wars Battlefront. So
it's fucking bonkers, man. It's a lot of nervous giggling on my end that I might have cut out during the edit, but
I'm very much the same. It's not a thing that I was paying attention to, and now I'm like, I'm not comfortable with this, and like, yeah, definitely nervous laughter.
But it's a defense mechanism, like they say in
Yeah.
Clue.
Yeah.
Do they call the movie Clue, or over there is it also called Cluedo?
It's called Cluedo, I think. I don't know why I'm struggling to think of that. I literally watched it like 2 months ago. I'm sure it is actually still called Clue. But that could be wrong. Someone could be listening to this and shouting, "Shut up, Liam. You don't know what you're talking about."
If we get a bunch of stuff wrong, I'll reinstitute the thing I used to do at the beginning of episodes when I talked out of my ass a lot. I have the corrections department.
You're better just being wrong, because do you know what? Once you then realise you were wrong and you correct it, it's a sign of growth. So just the more you're wrong, the more you get to correct, and the more people think you're grown up. So
There we go.
just say everything wrong.
We're working on it. We're working on developing. We have to evolve beyond the, I don't know, whatever however we made the world mad at us. Cut down those carbon emissions.
Yeah, everyone's went quiet about all the environmental stuff now.
Yeah.
That was everywhere in the media. That's all you could read about, and now nobody cares. They just want to punch each other in the throat for toilet paper.
It may come up a little bit at least over here, because there's this big youth climate advocacy group called the Sunshine Movement, I think is called over here. They endorsed Bernie Sanders.
Right, okay.
And in the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives, they came up with a counter-offer bill for financial bailout of people and health services and things like that. And in that, they've got stuff about cutting emissions, doing some environmental regulation to help improve the environment, like solar panels and other shit like that, anti-oil things, which makes a lot of people upset.
Yeah.
But anyway, Snake Plissken is...
I've always wanted to get him tattooed on me.
Yeah, like his head or his whole body, like the dancing...
His whole body on my body, so at first glance you think I'm Snake Plissken. No, just his head. I'd like it somewhere on me, because he's such a cool guy. You don't get cooler than Snake Plissken.
I think if I got a Snake Plissken tattoo, I would have to double check 100 times that the eye patch was on the correct side.
Yeah.
So it'd drive me fucking nuts, and then you'd have to change it to... did he ever wear sunglasses? Because I think that's the only fix you could do. Or,
Yeah, but sunglasses would make him look like a sexual predator. The eye patch is quite badass, and it's hard to walk around with an eye patch on. Your sense of balance is and distance are so off that all credit to him that he can hand glide and fire a gun so accurately with one eye.
And shoot, what was that? Was that more than half court basketball shot at the end of what's that called? Shot clock?
Yeah, I bet he did that first time. Like, there was no CGI there. That was that first time Kurt Russell 3-point.
Like Sigourney Weaver in Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I mean, Kurt Russell can do all those things. This is I'm sure people are not mad at him anymore, but for smashing that priceless acoustic guitar in Hateful Eight, it wasn't on purpose. He was just going method. But if I was a guitar player, I'd probably be slightly more upset.
I don't think there's anything Kurt Russell could do that would make me mad at him.
I don't want him to try, because...
Oh, yeah. It's too... Yeah. A lot of celebrities just now are actually disappointing me. So, yeah, let's not challenge Kurt to it. Just be yourself, Kurt. Stay yourself. Stay true.
Do your thing. What a beautiful blue eye. So, Cuervo Jones is sort of what? I mean, who do you think he's based on? Che?
Oh, of course. Of course.
You know, he's got the beard and the cigar, or Castro, young Castro. He's got the cigar and the beret that you can't make fun of because he's a revolutionary warlord. And the president's daughter, Utopia, has stolen the mini disc that you put into a calculator, and and with it you can do some precise. I don't know if you've ever seen the Val Kilmer movie not Top Secret, Real Genius.
No, not seen that.
Are you a fan or a anti-fan of Val Kilmer?
I like him as Batman only because I really liked that Batman when I was a kid. But apart from that, he kind of annoys me in everything he does.
So you don't like him in Tombstone?
Nah.
Would you be able to handle him in a weird comedy, or would that exacerbate the things you hate about him?
No, if I could see that side of him, I would probably like him a little more. Okay. Maybe, yeah.
I'm gonna suggest a couple movies to you if you've not seen them. Real Genius and Top Secret. Real Genius, he plays a child genius at this boarding school for really smart kids, but he is the kind of smart guy that just likes to fuck around because he's too smart to really deal with shit.
Right, okay.
And the head of the school is possibly using the students for nefarious reasons. And, you know, he gets this uptight roommate and just weird 1980s comedy with some bad CGI and shit. And then Top Secret is like a Naked Gun kind of movie.
Is that the one where they're inside the cow and the cow has like red wellies on?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That's that one.
I totally forgot Val Kilmer was in that. I have recollection of him being in that, but I have no recollection of like 5 minutes ago, so that doesn't say anything.
He's the main character in Top Secret.
So there you go. And I have no recollection of that. My brain is just like absolute mush.
But to pull the tangent thread back, I brought up Real Genius because there is a plot point similar to this part in Escape from LA where you can control these satellites all around the world and either shut down a taxi cab in Buenos Aires or turn out all the electricity with the electromagnetic pulses, turn out all the electricity and kill all electronic devices in the new USA state capital of Lynchburg, Virginia. And of course, the world code is 666. And I'm not sure was Cuervo Jones related to the impending attack from Cuba that they're talking about at the end of the movie, or is just everybody's sick of America and everybody's like, fuck America, we're just gonna kill you?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. Like it went through such a in Glasgow in Scotland and through such a phase in the kind of mid-90s that
everyone just wanted Che Guevara flags in their rooms and T-shirts, and like people were see the way like kids wear Ramones T-shirts now, even though they've never heard the Ramones. It was like that. Like they have this freedom fighter on the front, and they think it means something that it totally doesn't. And I think Cuervo Jones is just kind of commentary on that. That like this is what the youth like to fight back to the kind of oppressive regime and government. That this is just kind of highlighting them. They just let's fight back. Let's get them.
I didn't know it was a band. Whenever that Malcolm X movie came out with Denzel Washington and Spike Lee, and a bunch of other fucking people, of course, as movies go, my mom bought me a Malcolm X t-shirt because she thought it was for the Chicago White Sox because it was black with a big white X on it. And I wasn't particularly a fan of the Chicago White Sox, but she's just at the store. It's like, oh, it's a sports shirt. I'll get that for young Daeron. And I was totally running around. I'm sure my parents probably agreed with some things Malcolm X said, but my dad would have been the one more likely to have recognized the shirt. But yeah, I was just totally rocking a Malcolm X shirt back in the day.
That's so good. That's great. That's so good. I once at high school we would do like class talks. So obviously you get them up in front of the class to talk about a certain project. I'm sure you guys did them as well. And I went through a phase where like we had to do a class talk on your favourite song, and I did 2-pack changes. And like a week after, I wrote this 2,500 word essay on Malcolm X because I was just going through this full phase of like civil rights where I was convinced I was a black guy as well. And it was great. I absolutely loved that. I wish I could go back to that. It was such a simpler time. I had no worries other than civil rights.
We'll see if those get strengthened or weakened nowadays in the name of benevolent government. Polish your baseball bats, folks. Or remember which neighbors of yours probably have guns, and think about what kind of relationship you have.
That's the thing. I can't imagine, like, if this is how people react in a pandemic, like, I can't imagine also arming those people, like, letting those people have control of weapons. If you're going to punch an old lady in the head for some toilet paper, you should not be in control of a gun at all. And that is like, I can understand your nervous laughter, because the fact that that's happening right now is so scary.
It's I forget what the percentage is of how much it's gone up. Oh, here we go. Over the last 2 weeks, one store saw 200% increase in gun sales compared to March.
That is madness.
It's freaky. It's weird. It's I don't know.
You should try and smuggle your way over to Scotland. Like, it's not good here at all, but at least it's slightly less scary than that.
Yeah.
You'll be a little bit safer here.
Yeah, our passports are, if they actually start talking about closing the airports, well, I don't know, because then it's like traveling, taking my, if I could, I will. If it's like our countries are going to get locked down, if I can't, I could get to Canada in about 6 hours. So it might go there first.
Yeah.
But I do have also another thing that I'm sorry, I can't remember if I've told you this before, but I do have at least one living relative in Scotland.
Yeah, I'm sure I heard you telling Scott in the Mad Max episode And yeah, I'm sure we have talked about it before that you're an honorary Scot.
So please take me if I come a calling.
Oh, we'll have you. We'll have you in a heartbeat. I'd rather have you on my side than some of these idiots that are out buying all my cream eggs. Do you get cream eggs in America?
I think.
Oh man, they are a little gift.
Yeah.
They're a little gift in life. Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
Chocolate.
like Cadbury cream eggs. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like creamed eggs that you would find in the egg section at the grocery.
Oh no, that sounds absolutely disgusting.
I didn't want to say that in case you really liked it, so I just went with I don't like them.
Oh no, that sounds horrible. I'd rather not eat for the rest of my life, my short life, than ever consider that as a meal. But yeah, Cadbury's cream eggs, like people are buying them all up, and
Really?
every time I get a box, yeah, I destroy them, and I've got to go back to the shop and get more, and they're like, it's not essential, and I'm like, it is, because they're essentially tasty, and I want them essentially in my belly. And
Chocolate
everyone
has
keeps buying
endorphins
them.
that fights depression. God damn it.
I'm going to use that argument next time.
I'm 99% sure that's not bullshit. I think it's easily Googleable. Yeah. Yeah, got all the cream eggs. But, you gotta do it. You gotta.
See,
when
that's how
it's-
I would be so rubbish at the end of the world, because like I wouldn't be athletic. I would just be full of chocolate. I'd be like the little German boy in The Simpsons. Oh, I can't run. I'm full of chocolate. That would be me. I'd be full of chocolate. Lovely, delicious cream egg chocolate.
I can't remember if last time I had one of my own, but we just had, right before lockdown, my niece delivered the Girl Scout cookies, and there's surprisingly one box left. Or it might be gone now as I speak. The missus just got back from her gym is closed like a week ago.
Right, okay.
But they're putting up exercise videos every day. So she went out for a run, and then she took some of my free weights out onto the porch and was doing some shit. And then, so she might be watching Star Wars, or like, she likes a lot of Lady Snowblood and stuff like that.
Sweet.
She'd be watching something like that, eating all the cookies, but oh well. She earned them more than I did. I didn't do shit today. I vacuumed the house and cleaned the floors. Been doing
That's still a lot. That's still commendable.
It's like one cleaning thing a day. I was like, yeah, got my new vacuum cleaner. It's gonna be sweet, and I could beat somebody with it later in the wasteland.
Or people in the wasteland could hire me to clean their little dens and homes.
Get those assless chaps from Mad Max 2 and really start. What would be the currency? Toilet paper, liquor,
Yeah,
pasta?
probably. Yeah, all of the above. But I would definitely just clean their little dwellings with my Hoover, because nobody's ever going to attack the cleaner. They're going to try and get the scavengers or the people that are selling scrap and stuff like that. They're not going to get the cleaners. You're helping society. So that is the one way to survive the apocalypse. Become a cleaner.
Yeah, you're like a field medic in a war.
Yeah. Everyone will miss you. It's fine. Nobody wants to attack you because nobody likes a dirty area. They all want it clean. And you're the guy that's doing that.
Somebody will take up the mantle. Like your dude, fucking Waterworld guy whose name I can't remember, right? Kevin Costner.
Costner.
In The Postman.
I can't believe we got from that to The Postman.
I haven't seen that movie in ages. I'm sure it's in a box set with Waterworld somewhere. But...
Oh, I think I own Waterworld in every format it's ever came out on. Like I've got like the director's cut, the Odyssey cut. I've got everything, and I don't know why. I don't know why I love it so much. Like it used to come on TV on a Sunday night when I was like in the bath, getting ready to go to bed for like primary 1 or 2 the next morning. I used to just love it, and it just makes me feel so nostalgic. We should talk about Waterworld one day. Let's just create a Waterworld podcast where we only discuss the greatness of Waterworld. That's what society needs right now. This is terrible times. The only thing that can make it better is me talking about Kevin Costner.
Escape to Waterworld.
Oh, well, there you go. I can picture the logo right now.
Well, you're the better graphic artist. I'm just good at doctoring photographs, which will come in handy when we're all preparing to flee the country.
Yeah, your photoshops have been incredible recently. See there was one a few weeks ago, the video of us going to Fright Fest with a freak gasoline fight accident.
Oh,
That had me in stitches. Like, I was absolutely buckled because you used such a stupid picture of me that I looked so smug and happy in the back of the car. It was great.
I had fun with that. I almost made it longer, but I was like, if they all think it's shit, I don't want to waste that much time. I want to move on.
Oh no, I want a feature-length movie of it. I want you to actually go through all of Zoolander and just put our faces in every single scene. I will pay for that shit.
So I'm gonna start having the time on my hands. How I did that was I just put the video on of that clip and was just doing screenshots. Just click, 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 click. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it. I've been experimenting with animation on my tablet. Very, very bad anime. I can't draw for shit, but I'm better at that. I'm glad you liked it.
Oh,
You had fun at Fright Fest, and you did not shit yourself, I hear.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, I kind of did. On the first main day, the cinema was so hot that by like the kind of second last yeah, I think it was the second last film. Like, I was really struggling with the heat, so I went outside for a breath of fresh air, came back in, and the last film started, and I did the same. And it turns out that the cinema actually gets locked after a certain time. So I stepped out the door, the automatic door was shut, and I got locked out the cinema.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And I didn't have my jacket because I was obviously warm and I was out for cold air. And then I was absolutely freezing. And I was like, do you know what, Liam? Don't wish for things because the grass is always greener at the other side. Like, I really needed cold air. And then suddenly my nipples were like bullets. I was absolutely freezing. I couldn't get back in the cinema. I was tired. Other than that, Fright Fest was amazing. Yeah, you should come over one year. Come over and join us for the full weekend.
Ooh, that could be fun.
Especially if we manage to sneak the wine in. I say we. I had nothing to do with it. The other guys did. But you sneak wine in and you just get drunk for two days and a night, solid, of films. And this year's lineup was excellent. It was really, really strong. There was only one movie that I absolutely hated. Everything else was like high average to excellent.
I heard your take on that one an episode or two back, whenever you guys were talking about that, because I skipped over the ones that I wanted to see.
Yeah, because Scott would ruin them.
Yeah. And it's my gamble listening to podcasts that are talking about movies. If I hear a spoiler, it's my bad. But I want to avoid it if I can, and I heard a lot of strong things about it, but just I did not like it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll listen to this. Sounds like something I'm not going to give a fuck about. I think I'm going to watch The Hunt tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, I've heard good things about that.
Straight from the cinemas, because they're all fucking closed.
Yeah.
It's like,
although, like, it's like £16, so, like, yeah, about $24 or $25 to rent The Invisible Man and The Hunt
really?
here just now. Yeah.
It's
and that's like
here.
that's two cinema tickets. Like, that's a lot of money to charge just to rent a film.
Because my wife has no interest in watching it. She said this seems like a movie you would watch. Do it when I'm in bed. So I looked and it was $20, and I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? This has kind of been a therapeutic discussion about what we've been doing during the end times to make ourselves feel better. And we've got some Escape from LA threaded through here. I think we can call it the Escape from LA episode. And I don't think we're necessarily done saying anything about the movie, but I started playing Far Cry Primal
Right.
Because I need to learn how to be a caveman. And that'll probably take an hour or two of distraction tonight. I don't know if you've ever played any of the Far Cry games, or if you play much video games at all.
I played the very first one, and I've played what is it, the newest one that has the Jonestown kind of cult?
Oh,
Is that 4, 5?
5 has it, and I hear 6 has something closely related to that, but 5 is the one where there's the crazy cult guy with his 4 kids that control the area.
Yeah, that's the one I played quite a lot recently. But I'm terrible for it. If I miss one night playing the game, I don't go back to it, no matter how much I love the game. It's like I can't. I'll try go back to it, and I'll watch a cutscene, and I'm like, I have no idea who any of these people are. I don't remember what I did in this game, and I just fall away from it. It's like I'm like a child. You have to really catch my attention, and I have to have it held constantly. If I break it, I don't go back to it, and that happened with Far Cry, and it upsets me because I was really enjoying it.
I gave up sort of near the end of that, where I felt like every time I played it, at some point when you're in one of the zones, just pickup trucks full of people come and shoot you with poison darts and put you in this house that's a pain in the ass to get out of. But it sort of got less fun. So I started avoiding that entire area of the map, and I sort of did most everything in the other stuff. I was like, wow, fuck this. But the caveman one was something like $5 in the Xbox store.
Right, okay.
I was like, oh, I could play $5 worth of this at least. Building awesome spears and training animals. I got like a leopard that I could make eat people. There's a violent other tribe that's cannibals. But anyway, what else have you been doing to try to stay sane?
To be honest, this is the first day of it. Obviously, we only get told last night in the UK that it would be a lockdown, so I had to go into work today and just take loads of kind of like artwork projects that I had and just fire them onto a hard drive so I could at least do some sort of work from home. So today I kind of did that, and then I had loads of ironing to do and catch up on, which, to be honest, I kind of wish the world would end quicker, like today, as I was doing that. And then that was it. I started chilling out, watched Escape from LA again, just because why not? And now I'm here. What about you? Just hoovering, just cleaning?
Yeah, I think so far we've been relatively locked down for a week. Piecemeal, I think I've cleaned the house. I started organizing my DVDs and Blu-rays, but with a little kid running around, that's no point in really doing that. At least I'm not focused on it that much to care. I don't want to do it a bunch of times. I want to do it once.
How do you organize it? Do you alphabetize or by genre or?
If I can, it almost makes more sense to alphabetize.
Yeah.
You know, that way it's just, it's the don't you know the Dewey Decimal System? What was that from? Anyway, UHF maybe?
See, I was picturing Kindergarten Cop.
Well, that's who they're making fun of, because it's a fake show in that movie called Conan the Librarian.
Right, okay.
So,
I see, I've not seen that.
Oh, it's a Weird Al Yankovic movie.
We didn't really get a lot of him over here.
He was everywhere here.
When we did when kind of music piracy first came about, you would always download some of his songs, but it wasn't really on TV or at least nothing I watched over here. He's a very American thing to me.
He does
about like Mad Magazine. We didn't really get Mad Magazine over here unless like you really knew your shit. You would find a copy.
so that and Weird Al are just so American.
At the peak of his power, they let him make a movie where he plays a guy that gets fired all the time, and then his uncle wins a TV station in a poker game and puts him in charge of it. And the villain from Inner Space is in charge of the network in town that is like the evil corporation.
Yeah.
And it's Weird Al and Michael Richards and Fran Drescher and some other people that you've probably seen in some things run a TV station. So it's mostly just Weird Al doing skits. There was just a lot of fake commercials for shows that were going to be airing later. And one of them was somebody looking for a book, and Conan the Librarian's like, "Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?" And then cuts the guy in half with a sword. It's just weird, dumb shit like that. It was called UHF.
Is it worth a watch?
I think so, but I definitely have nostalgia for it because I first saw it when I was 5 or 6. So
right,
if you don't make it through the Indiana Jones part at the beginning, you can probably turn it off. It's not gonna get. It's not the type of humor isn't really gonna change.
Right. Okay. I might check that out. Since I've got all the time in the world now that we're locked at home.
That's why I've been booking episodes since I don't have it would probably still be hard if I had a regular co-host, but since I have no set schedule, I'm just like, okay, I'm locked in my house and everybody else is locked in their house. Who wants to have a conversation with me? Aside from just for the show, it's really cool to talk to people all over the place and see how things are going.
Yeah.
Because Facebook is its own kind of reality, and so is Twitter. I've mostly just been throwing doctored photos of Joe Biden and Donald Trump up there. And the next episode of this show you should hear should be 12 Monkeys. There's probably a top 5, top 10 end of the world movies to cheer you up, and end of the world movies that make you want to kill yourself, like The Road.
Oh man, I cried like a little baby at The Road. Oh, I can't watch that often because it makes me feel so sad.
I haven't watched it since my son was born because I know
I can understand.
Like a baby. It was rough stuff enough. The first time I watched it, my wife was pregnant.
No chance, man. There's no way I could do that. I want to cry just thinking about it.
I had to stop watching American Horror Story Hotel because the little blonde kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because he had like long blonde hair. He just got it cut short. He got his apocalypse haircut. It's not really a mohawk, but it's shaved most of the places and a little bit longer on the top now. But he barely ever let us cut his hair up until 2 weeks ago. I'm growing a quarantine beard. I think I also said that recently, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. I think if I go successfully make a run to the shops and come back with supplies, I'll dye my hair purple because I just found hair dye in the cleaning the bathroom. There's a thing of purple hair dye in the back. I was like, so this will be my thing. It'll be my necklace of ears.
See, this is where trauma and stuff all had it right. Like, when the world ends, we all become, like, mutant punk zombies. Like, there you are with your dyed purple hair. Like, we just naturally go to be mutant punks.
Now the question is, do I bleach the beard and dye it all purple? Or does that become Fortnite video game avatar at that point?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You'll end up looking like a creator wrestler from a wrestling game.
I'd rather look like a warrior of the wasteland. It'll help me survive in the cursed earth.
I say go for it. Do you know what? We don't know how long we're here for, so why not dye all of it purple? I think I'm like 8 months into this beard just now, and it's starting to annoy me. Like, it looks good in the mirror, but when I see pictures of myself, I'm like, I look like the the happiest, most jovial homeless man you have ever seen. And because of the kind of Irish blood, it comes in really thick, red and ginger. And I'm like, oh, you just look like the big guy from Braveheart.
I could crush you like a worm.
Exactly. Like that was actually quite good. I like that.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that I might come out the end of this less hairy than when I went into it. I think I'll end up just shaving it. Probably shaving my head and my eyebrows. Just like going really stir crazy.
Like the guy that's throwing knives into the corpse of the guy from Rescue Team 1. Who that's the guy from Revenge of the Nerds, right?
Is it?
I think that's the rapist from Revenge of the Nerds.
I thought I recognised him, but I couldn't like pinpoint where it was from. I was like, I've definitely seen him in something.
Pretty sure it's the guy that's not Anthony Edwards.
Right, okay. That would make sense, because I watched that a few months ago as well, so it would make sense that that's lingering somewhere in my broken memory.
We gotta strengthen our memories when we have to remember all the things that were on the internet.
Yeah.
After it shuts down.
I know.
How long do you think before total collapse? If the internet went off?
With the way people are panicking right now, if the internet went down, I would give it like 6 hours. And I think it would, the place would be decimated. Absolutely decimated. There would only be like marauding bands of like 5 or 6 of us spaced out around the globe. It will have just went into total carnage. Yeah, just gonna head for the mountains, see what happens.
Hold up.
See, I've got the Mustang now, so I can pull off the Mad Max look, except I'd have to constantly fuel up. So I would only get like 60 miles down the road, and I'd have to stop for petrol. I'd be the easiest guy to capture and kill.
Like, wait, time.
Stop making me drive fast. I keep burning too much petrol.
You know, if we keep this up, we're going to be right back where we started with this climate change shit. How do you feel? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm the most hated man on the planet because I've burned 90% of the Earth's petrol resources.
Do you think we should take a short break, refill our beverages, and then wrap this shit up, or go on for another tangential wild ride? Or
I'm easy, man. I'm feeling because we've been talking about some sad, heavy stuff. I think we should go fill up our coffees, fill up our drinks, and then come back and yeah, let's close it out with a laugh.
All right. So yeah, we will do that, and we shall return.
Just to say hi, my name is, you're listening to Scott and Liam versus Evil.
Say that again.
It's just introduce yourself. You're listening to Scott and Liam versus
Scott
Evil.
and William versus Evil.
Liam, Scott and Liam.
Scott and William.
Liam, like L-I-A-M.
Am I not saying that? William.
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 No, it's like just like no L-I-A-M.
Oh,
Just
Liam.
yeah.
Liam. Sorry, I am jet lagged. These lights are not helping. Scott and Liam versus Evil.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's cool.
I thought you were spelling out the end of William. That's fine. Okay, I got it now. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Hello, this is Amanda Fuller, and you are listening to Scott and Liam versus Evil.
Well, you aren't listening yet, but you should be.
We are Scott and Liam versus Evil out of Glasgow, Scotland. In each episode, we take you on a drunken trip through the best, the worst, and the in-between picks from horror cinema. Well, at least we try to.
You can find us online at scottandliamversusevil.com. So join us as we bare our souls everywhere good podcasts are available. Or the pub.
Oh my god.
How's that?
The Surgeon General of Beverly Hills.
These are no good. You couldn't give them away. And this, I can do nothing with this one. Yeah, I'll wheel it away. You heard what the man said. Get rid of it. I can't work with garbage like this. Now these two, they look very good. My God, they're real.
Hey man, that's me back.
Right on. I was gonna make coffee and then I realized it's almost fucking 8 o'clock here. Might be a bad idea if I'm already up till 3 or 4 every night.
See, it's now midnight, and I have an espresso, and I've just had a smoke, so it should cancel each other out, and I'll still fall asleep by like 1:15.
Hey, there we go.
My cat's joined us as well. He's been wailing at the door, so he's in now. You better behave.
Little Boris.
Yeah, my boy.
Vanessa, my on VD Clinic, her cat either knocks over the mic or is always fucking with the recycling bin in the back, so it's just clang clang all the cans and shit. Or the purring into the microphone.
Yeah, Boris does that. He'll come in and he'll jump up like just behind my shoulder. He'll fall asleep and then he'll just start purring away. You know, like, it's really cute, but you have to move away from the mic.
And I think that's us back because everyone loves Boris Katloff.
Yeah, man.
So anytime he is mentioned, I'm sure my downloads go through the roof. Follow him on Instagram. Does he have his own Instagram yet, or just shares it with you?
Yeah, well, technically my Instagram is his Instagram. I used to hate cats, man. Like, I was such a dog guy. I didn't understand cats. And then we got Boris, and he's like my best pal. And I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to put up pictures of you all the time, and I don't care what anyone says because you are cute and everyone deserves to see it.
Yeah, I can confirm I'm not much of a cat guy. We had all kinds of animals when I was a kid. I've always been a dog guy, but a couple years ago, my wife got high and went to the cat cafe, which I don't know if I told you about the cat cafe, but it's a shelter that also serves coffee. So you go there and you pay a little bit of extra for coffee and you just hang out in a room full of cats, and they're all up for adoption. So we got Tank Girl.
She's still such a good name for a cat.
And she's living up to her name. She hasn't been hunting as much as, I don't know if I told you, she was daily bringing us the animal sacrifices from her escapes into.
Oh, really?
Into the, yeah. So I think she ate all the chipmunks. I don't know if you have chipmunks over there, but
no, we don't.
She ate all of the Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and just being a cat, but me not being much of a cat person. She always sits with me.
Yeah,
it's made me more like enjoying the cat thing because cats are lovable assholes.
Yeah,
and if
man.
you want them to come to you, was that the Mark Twain quote? Like if a dog sits with you, it means they love you, and if a cat sits on you, it means you're warm right now, or something like that.
See, I have no idea, but that's a great quote. If it's not Mark Twain's, I'm going to say it's mine.
That and your hang gliding business. The
Globetrotters. It won't be a success because I can't even remember the name of it.
If
I mispronounce it every time.
If I get bored, they were on Scooby-Doo a lot, so I'm sure maybe there's some graphic I can distort from Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, that's what else I have to get to. I've bought the recent Blu-ray release of the Scooby-Doo Where Are You complete series, and the isolation couldn't have come at a better time because I want nothing more than to sit and watch Scooby-Doo for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. I should probably go through and get the cellophane off some of my movies, but been going to a lot of movies that I feel comfortable with.
Yeah, you need that. You need to take your mind over everything just now. So old comforts are the kind of the best thing to do right now.
Join General Britney Spears. Did you hear about her calling for wealth redistribution and a general strike? Yeah. On her Instagram, these are the times we live in. Britney Spears on Instagram called for wealth redistribution and a general strike.
That is ridiculous. That's crazy.
Be Britney Spears and Commander Greta Thunberg and all the fired White House scientists.
These are terrifying times that we live in.
But I watched the little speech that your was it called a first minister or whatever, the lady show
the lady.
Wasn't there a lady that did a little speech about
anyway, our first minister, Nicola Sturgeon.
Yeah, Sturgeon. That's right.
Yeah.
Her press conference or her little announcement to the nation seemed calming and somewhat reassuring. Or is it just that I am where I am, so by comparison it seems...
Yeah, By comparison, anyone would seem kind of better and warming than what you're having to deal with. But yeah, she's been kind of calling for like total lockdown for a while, I think. So I think she's quite relieved to now have finally got it, and hopefully the people of Scotland actually start to listen and stop going out the house and doing what they can to stop it. And then it'll look good for her in kind of any future elections, because she's actually she got what she's wanted, and it was for the best kind of outcome for the country. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see with that, but not wanting to end on the bummer that are the people that are supposed to lead us through these things. I will say that I have seen a lot of, people as a giant group are chaos, but there's a lot of people that are, pitching in and making me feel not completely terrible as being part of the human race. And if we make it out on the other side, still appreciating art, there's going to be some really cool fucking movies. Talk about movies made off this era. Some creepy paintings. There's probably going to be a lot of creepy paintings. There's a lot of bored art students at home right now with nothing to do. People are harnessing their things. I'm relearning the piano.
Sarge? Yes, Wycliffe, what is it? Well, I'm learning the piano. Learning the piano? Yes, Sarge. And I suppose you want to go and practice, eh? Marching up and down the square, not good enough for you, eh? Well... Right, off you go! Now!
Yeah, I haven't really fallen out of practice on drums, but I fell really out of practice on the piano. And for Christmas, I got this little synthesizer with a drum pad on it, but fuck it. Got time on my hands.
Well, when it's the wasteland and it's the end of the world, then everyone still wants a jaunty little tune. So you'll have work at all the wasteland bars. So yeah,
I can play in the weird saloon weighing station where all the bounty hunters and the outlanders come in, and I'm just in the corner playing for batteries and I'm not sure, toilet paper rolls and batteries and bottles of hand sanitizer.
Hopefully they don't throw them at you like they would throw coins, because toilet roll and batteries could start to hurt after a while.
Put the battery in the middle of the roll. You can get a lot of momentum behind that. Or I could get an accordion like Weird Al Yankovic. And we are back to 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. That was nice. I liked how you did that.
It all comes back. It's a braided essay. What do you think you're going to be doing, if any? I know you work graphic design for work, so I don't know if you really do it that much for fun, but you've got Scott and Liam episodes coming up. I guess you should probably plug that awesome shit before we go.
Yeah. Well, so we are Scotland versus Evil. I've just updated the website, which is scotlandversusevil.com. We have like a playlist going now. We have a book club, which is pretty cool.
Now he's starting a blog to hopefully get more people maybe writing about horror in different reviews, and rather than just a letterbox thing, we'll put them up as blog posts. Especially because a lot of people will be going kind of stir crazy. And we've let the audience listener group choose the next 5 episodes, so they'll have a poll every week to pick the movie we're discussing. So there's a lot happening, but as soon as we go back to work and back to real life, everything will slow down again, and we'll go back to like 1 episode every 5 months.
I'm trying to picture people loving the fuck out of doing something they used to hate.
Yeah.
Like at the grocery store, skipping
just
down.
getting toilet roll, just throwing it out the car, not caring because you have so many rolls and you didn't have to fight people for it.
Yeah. Going and introducing themselves to their neighbors. Like, I know we've lived next door to each other for 5 years. I'm Bob.
Sneezing on whoever you want.
Yeah.
Not a care in the world.
I felt like I had to sneeze when I did go to a shop about a week ago when it started getting tense. Oh God, if I sneeze, they're going to beat me to death with a sack of potatoes. Burn me in the parking lot. But thanks for some of your time, man. It probably won't be as long in between actual conversations, but it had been a minute.
Yeah. Time just flies. You kind of you forget like just how quickly time's going. So before you know it, it's like, well, we've not talked in like 6 months. It just creeps up on you.
Jeff Goldblum said it best. I am Brundlefly. But Snake Plissken sent the world back to the Stone Age.
A true American hero.
Smoking American Spirit cigarettes and blowing out the match. And the movie's over, and there's all this. I mean, the soundtrack for this movie was like Tool, and I don't even know. It was a very 1990s soundtrack.
I think there's some Rob Zombie or some White Zombie in there as well, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Stabbing Westward, Tool, White Zombie, the Toadies, Butthole Surfers, Sugar Ray, Gravity Kills, Tori Amos, Ministry, Clutch, Civ, and the Deftones. I don't remember hearing the Deftones, but
yeah, I don't remember that. Which song?
I don't know. I just pulled up the album, the band listing.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm going to check that out after this.
Yeah. If that's incorrect, then I've been bamboozled by the fake news yet again.
It's the end of the world. What can you expect?
Yeah, that'll be what they read at my hanging, or when they send me into the Trump gulag. Is you got the soundtrack to Escape from L.A. wrong. That's even more illegal than being a Muslim in South Dakota. Chop us up for parts. Give us to the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. I'm sure the dart's worn off by now. I don't remember him getting totally killed at the end, but Snake wouldn't give a fuck. He'd kill anybody that he didn't kill mercilessly, but he got the job. He got the job done.
Yeah.
But yeah, fucking love having an excuse to watch this movie again. I think it gets shat on a lot. And I mean, go ahead. I'm sure you could. If it was grainier, I think people would have been a little less pissy about it. It's very clean. It's very mid 90s lighting, but it's still fucking John Carpenter and all his people. And he did the music, right? As he usually tends to do. Fuck yeah, man. I made Scott do it, so you can do it too. Is there the little proverb of wisdom from Escape from LA to use in these days ahead?
Go hand gliding at every available opportunity, because you never know when you might not be allowed to.
Yeah.
That's what I take from it.
Yeah. The Santa Ana wins, and you don't want to live next door to the person that hasn't had toilet paper after a while. Share the pasta. Don't trample old people. I haven't heard about that happening, but I could see it. I could see people shoved sideways. Trying to stay away from the bummer spiral. Fuck yeah, man. We'll do something like Waterworld next. Or some punk music episode. Thank you for your time, dude.
No, thank you very, very much for inviting me on. I absolutely love it. I love getting to catch up with you, and yeah, man, let's get something else scheduled in soon as. I'm free tomorrow. Definitely let's chat again soon.
All right, dude. We'll try to do at least one more before the quarantine ends. How about that? How about that as a goal?
Yeah, sweet, man. Sounds good.
All right, and thank you everybody for listening. I've been drinking a lot of coffee in quarantine, if you can't tell. Get outside a little bit. Don't touch anybody. And don't forget to duck and cover.
He did what we all must learn to do. You and you and you and you. Duck and cover.
Welcome to the human race.
This is Bo from LegionPodcasts.com. Hey, it's been a crazy time, and when the world gets nuts, we're happy to offer some old-fashioned podcast entertainment. But for some folks, getting a laugh out of a show isn't really helping these days. People who depend on tips in their bartending jobs or have been put on furlough with no pay till the worst of this coronavirus threat has passed. That's a tough spot. That's why we set up a GoFundMe for members of our community, a sort of grand-scale take a penny, leave a penny. For people like myself, for whom the recent disruptions haven't kicked us out of work, well, we can drop a few of those extra pennies in the GoFundMe jar. For those who are directly affected by recent events and find themselves looking for money to pay the electric bill or keep the water on, well, how about you give me a shout at B-O, at legionpodcasts.com. Let me know the situation and what you need, and we'll do our best to make life a little easier. And you can find links to the GoFundMe on the front page of legionpodcasts.com, on our Facebook group page, or on Twitter at Legion Podcasts, where it's the pinned tweet. For those of you who are able, thanks in advance for chipping in. And members of our community who need a hand, hey, here we are. Remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and we're all going to get through this together. Legion isn't just a name, it's who we are. Thanks for listening to all the shows here on Legion Podcasts, and we'll talk to you soon.